Our special guest in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, is the 60th pick of this year's draft. Second round draft pick, Cam Taylor-Britt out of Nebraska. Played corner, can play some safety, has position versatility, has physical versatility, can do a lot of different things for defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. Every single player that he drafted in the back end, in the secondary, is going to give him a lot of different things that they can do from a physical standpoint. That'll give him more pieces to his chessboard, and he's going to be a lot more difficult to play against the Cincinnati Bengals defense and recognize what they're doing and how they're doing it. He's a very, very personable young man. He's a very, very good football player. And his teammate, Stanley Morgan, quote on him was energetic, humble beast. Says a lot. Stanley Morgan respects his teammate, former teammate at Nebraska. And Cam Taylor-Britt respects Stanley Morgan as well. Zach Taylor, Cornhusker himself, likes to work with Cornhuskers. Cam Taylor-Britt, going to be a big addition to the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome once again to In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, as always, coming from our outstanding studios. And man, if we got a special guest today, and he's right in the Bengals locker room. I mean, this is number 29 in your program. Cam Taylor-Britt, 5'11", over 195 pounds in that range, out of Nebraska, cornerback, safety, second-round pick by the Bengals. Just an outstanding career with the Cornhuskers, and welcome to Cincinnati. And here you are right in the Bengals locker room. Did you just get done with some work?
Yeah, I just got done. We had meetings not too long ago and got right on the call with you and, was ready to talk some ball.
There we go. So you had another workout in the organized team activities, the OTAs as such. How are those going for you? Making a quick transition? Is it kind of smooth, or how's it been so far?
No, it is pretty smooth. I don't, get stuck as much as I did when I first got here. We've been going over a lot of film and, just getting it in with Coach Burks. He's making sure that, he actually teaches us the techniques, that we need to be playing in the defenses that they're teaching us. And, he's actually, like I said, he's teaching us. He's not just, throwing it out there and hoping that we are able to catch on. So that's helping me a lot in our extra meetings as well.
That's awesome. So let's go back to your high school days. I want to go back to Park Crossing in Montgomery, Alabama. I played in the blue-gray game in Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay.
I know what Montgomery, Alabama's like. Yeah.
That Crampton Bowl. That's where you played.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's where we played that game. You played quarterback in Park Crossing in Montgomery, Alabama. 1,466 passing yards with 14 touchdowns, 1,030 yards rushing, averaged 8.8 yards per rush, darn near a first down every time you rushed the football, and rushed for 16 touchdowns as well. What was that like? What was the experience like playing quarterback?
Honestly, I didn't even want to play quarterback.
Really?
It was just the fact that I was the best that can do it at the time, and I was always a team player. So if that's what they needed me to do, that's what I was going to do. I always, could throw, but then I actually had to start working on my mechanics if I was going to really be playing quarterback. So I was going to camps to do that, and, it was, just fun. I always had a ball in hand first, so I had to make the decision.
So you were in the situation where Cam's our best athlete. We need somebody to play quarterback. We think Cam can play quarterback. Let's put him at the quarterback position.
That's what it really was. We actually had both times, middle school and high school, we had quarterbacks, but either they were too short or, couldn't throw as far. It was just something they made up just so I could have to play quarterback, and that's where it started.
Did it turn out to be a blessing? Did your experience at the quarterback position help you become a better defensive back? Because, you had to learn route combinations and coverages, and now you're seeing it from the other side of things, once you went into the defensive side of things after having played the quarterback position. Was there some benefit for you there?
Most definitely. I could say that. When I first got to Nebraska, it was kind of weird because I was reading the defense from the offensive side of view, and I, had to switch it over. But, I knew cover 2 and cover 3, different, defenses while I was playing quarterback, and I could read that. But actually playing that defense was the part I needed to get. And once I got that, it was pretty easy for me because I, knew route combinations, just field position on the field, what we would, done in this situation. So just situational football, that helped me out a lot.
So a Nebraska Cornhusker, I was fortunate enough to do Big 12 games for a number of years with Fox, and I'm telling you, man, that fan base is the most educated, most intelligent football fan base I think I've ever been around. And boy, do they love their Cornhuskers, man. It had to be just an awesome experience for you.
Yeah, you can say it was, man. People say they treat you like you're in the NFL already because we don't have an NFL team. So, like, Cincinnati is just like Nebraska to me because the fans here are crazy as well.
I'm telling you, that's it. The fans were just. I remember going out to dinner. I'm trying to think of the name of the steakhouse that's kind of famous, I think. And we walked in there, and all of a sudden, the marching band came in, and the marching band starts playing like the Friday night before the Saturday game, and the place went nuts. I mean, the place exploded. It was crazy, and the Nebraska Cornhusker fans. Man, they know their history of Nebraska football now, big time.
Yeah, we've had, a number of consecutive sellouts. I think it's like 380 or something. It's a lot of it's a lot of people in the stands. It's called the Sea of Red for a reason.
No question, no question. So how similar, how different is what Lou Anarumo and the Bengals defensive coaches, what they're asking you to do here as opposed to what you did at the collegiate level? Are there big differences? I'm sure there are differences with language and terminology, but what about responsibilities and structure and scheme and that sort of thing?
That's kind of really the only thing, just the terminology, you could say. Coach Fisher at Nebraska kind of prepared me for a lot, and just with his knowledge of football as well, he basically instilled in me from the beginning of college till I left. So he helped me out a lot with that. But I wouldn't say defense-wise, it's not too much different. I do have some different responsibilities in certain defenses, but it's, very self-explanatory. You know where your help is at, you'll be fine. I'm doing an interview. I'm doing an interview. I am doing an interview. Look, I'm about to turn the camera around. She's waving. She is something else. All right, I'm gonna call you back. Okay, I love you.
That's your mom?
Yes, my A1 day one, man.
That's your A1 day one?
Man, yeah.
That's great. All right. So Zach Taylor played at Nebraska. Zach Taylor was Offensive Player of the Year at Nebraska. So I mean, that he had himself some success there. And you have a teammate, Stanley Morgan, who man just is about as good a blue collar worker, man. I mean, that guy is a guy that you'd love to have as many Stanley Morgans as you can possibly have, and so you have a couple of people that will have your back, I think, a little bit. And one of them being the head coach, that's pretty good. And how helpful is it to have Stanley Morgan there, who can pretty much let you know what to expect and how to go about everything?
It's kind of crazy because that's what he did when I was at Nebraska.
Really?
He took me under his wing there, and he was an offensive guy, and I just got there, playing defense. But we kind of clicked when I first got there, and it basically stood from there. I was with him every day, and he just basically taught me a lot. At the time that he was there before he ended up going to the NFL, but. We talk all the time how crazy it is and how God, he did it for a reason, because we basically restarting like where we were. He's like second or third year, and I'm, just getting here just like when I was a freshman at Nebraska. So, this happened for a reason, and I know it is good. Now we're on a winning team, and we're going to, continue to, help each other out.
That's amazing. It's almost like the cycle, the cycle of football life continues.
It's crazy.
It happened at the college level. Now it's happened at the professional level. That's pretty interesting. His comments about you though were you're an energetic, humble beast. I mean, that's a mouthful right there. And you know, he called you the Energizer Bunny. I mean, is it uh how do you feel about that? And how do you feel about Stanley Morgan?
Nah, I like that, honestly, because, I can be, I say, turnt here and there. I have my moments where I can, be the life of the party. On the field, though. And I just bring that every day. But you will never see me boast about my accolades or any success that I've ever had has always been team first. So I believe that's where the energizer, humble beast comes from. And the beast part, I feel like I'm a dog, as Coach Fish always called me. So I think that's where that comes from. As far as Stan, I've always called Stan the man because, he's always had the plan. So that's what we're going to stick with, man. That's my boy. He's never told me one lie. Like, honestly, he's always kept it real from day one, as far as football wise and off the field wise. With different issues just in life, we've had long conversations. He just helped me out in most ways that he probably didn't even know.
So what has he said about the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincinnati organization? What's he told you?
He wouldn't trade places with anybody in this world, just because how they run things here. It's not like anywhere else. Coach Taylor most definitely does take care of you. He wants you to work, your hardest, but he won't beat you up in order where you can't work. As far as just the staff as well, everybody's come together. Coach Lou and them, as far as defensive wise, he said I would love them, and I do. Once I got here, Coach Lou was on me, and I love that just because I don't like a soft coach.
So when you get drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals with the 60th selection, we got another thing in common. I was the 61st selection of my draft, so we were drafted almost at the exact same spot. So I kind of feel you a little bit here. I was an offensive lineman. Obviously, I wasn't any athlete back there in the back end doing anything like you do. That's for sure.
Yes.
But what did you feel like when you get drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals? What's the first thing that went through your mind? A team that won the AFC Championship and almost won the Super Bowl.
Well, I had a great top 30 visit when I came here, and me and Coach Burks kind of kicked it, ate together and just talked for a good minute. And we kind of built that relationship even before I got here. And it was like we said it when I first got here. Like me and Stan said, it happened for a reason, because I didn't have those type of conversations with other coaches or on the top 30 visits that I went on to, and we didn't have that feel. So just being in the position that I am, I'm very blessed and happy. I can tell you that. It was the relief of actually living out the dream of getting there. I can say, just getting my name called and just being there with my parents and everything, and letting them see, I did it, and they won't struggle anymore. So that's what that was, honestly.
So your parents aren't going to struggle anymore. That's a blessing for
Yeah.
them. For them here, I'm sure you're going to take care. What are you going to do for your parents first?
Oh, mama, they got to get a house. You got to get them out of Montgomery, man. Montgomery will always be my home, but it's not, nowhere to stay. I can say for sure.
Right. Are you excited about the opportunity? Like the old saying goes, iron sharpens iron. And when you're going to be practicing against Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and the group of wide receivers that the Bengals have, it's amongst the best in the National Football League. You excited about the opportunity to work against those guys and hone your craft?
I love competition, and that's all it is. And it's like you said, iron sharpens iron. There should be no bad blood between any of it, because I know we're all, want the same goal. So we're gonna push each other to the max, and that's gonna happen every day. It will most definitely help my craft. Me still, coming into it. I'm here now, so it's just time to prove it, and just work every day until it's game time.
So after your visit with the coaches and the organization here with the Cincinnati Bengals, did you feel a pretty good vibe that you might get drafted here? And were you really excited when it did happen?
Well, I called my mom after the visit. I was like, "Hey, that was the best one." Like,
Huh.
it was crazy. Yeah, and you do the same exact things on all the visits, but it's just about the conversation that you have with the people, and I feel like I landed in the best position for me possibly. So I'm glad that happened.
Who did you meet within the organization other than the head coach, the defensive coordinator, your position coach? You meet any of your potential teammates or anybody like that?
I wouldn't say. I think everybody was going. I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were going. But
Right.
I knew I was here though. But that was about it though. And I had forgot Coach Walters was here too. He was at Nebraska when I was there as well.
Right. Coach Walter. Yeah, he was getting it done there. You know, it is it is pretty remarkable that there are so many ties for you within this organization from the collegiate ranks. I mean, there are Cornhuskers filtered all through this
Yeah.
organization. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, we need it. They say, Nebraska people are everywhere. And I believe that. I didn't believe when I first went there until I go to every airport and there's a Nebraska fan asking for an autograph. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm in, somewhere, nowhere near Nebraska. And, this is happening. So it is like that, honestly.
I had a great teammate that played at Nebraska. Tony Davis was a running back in Nebraska, and he was tough. Tony Davis was what he went by. You know what I mean? And the name fit him perfectly. This dude was as tough as nails, man. I mean, he was our special teams captain. He covered kickoffs like a wild man. I mean, the guy was just all football all the time. Tony Davis was a tough football player, man.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. Like you said, to cover those kicks, set the tone of the game, man.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Darren Simmons. I'm sure you probably had a little bit of dialogue with Coach Simmons at this point in time with your special teams abilities and background. I bet he's pumped up to add you to the mix.
Yeah, yes, sir. We have our meetings as well, and I'm trying to get close to him just so he can gain that trust in me. Just so every day he sees me and I go out on that field and I'm working my butt off, not just to outbeat everybody, but everybody has to eat, and I have to make sure I eat. So I'm going to go out there, and do my thing full speed. Make sure I'm doing the drills correctly, and just make sure I am meeting with him all the time so that we can be on the same page.
Yeah, he's as good as there is in the National Football League. I mean, that guy has done an unbelievable job here for this organization. There is no question about it. Are you a goal oriented guy? Do you set goals? Did you set goals during your collegiate career? Do you set goals in your professional career here, or what's that like for you?
It was more of a. So the reason I went back to Nebraska, I felt like I had something to prove, and you can see that in the beginning of the season, I wasn't playing my best ball, and I feel like that shit right there is the reason that I go out every game, and I just have fun, and I play my game and just be myself. Because in the beginning of the season, you can see I did too much. I felt like I wasn't being myself, and it ended in. It wasn't like you could see it like it wasn't me, and that's when my coach, me and Frost, we're great as like a father figure in some way. He told me that just be yourself, Cam. You don't have to do the most. Everybody knows what you're capable of. Just go out there and be you. And once I did that, you seen that's when it got ugly there the season. Yeah, so I wouldn't say I really kind of set goals, but I have trying to get into that. I used to post things on my mirror here and there, like so I can see it every day. But yeah, I'm more of a guy that can set my mind to it that day, and I want to work on something getting better every day.
So, did you play other sports in high school besides football? Were you a multi-sport guy at your younger level?
Yeah, freshman year I played basketball. I never got a chance to play baseball. Mom didn't want me to throw my arm out because I was playing quarterback. Ran track, but that was it though.
What position did you play in basketball?
Just a 2 and a 3.
Yeah.
But sometimes they had me at the 4 because I could jump.
Were you a lockdown, nose to belly button defender kind of guy?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I didn't do all the fouling. I got to play basketball.
What you doing in track and field? What was your events?
4x1, long jump and high jump.
Give me some numbers in the long jump and the high jump.
I do not remember.
Really? Yeah.
That was a while ago because I ended up having 2 surgeries in high school, so I ended up having to stop playing everything. I missed the season, so during that time, I missed my sophomore and junior season of high school football. I only played 3 games each year, so beginning of the season, sophomore year, I played 3 games. The third game, I got hurt. Meniscus surgery, right knee. Then recovery. Come back my junior year, starting quarterback. Third game of the season again. Tear ACL, meniscus, fractured my patella, and everything. So that's why I went crazy my senior year. I wore the brace, and I played the smartest football that you probably ever going to see me play because I was just cautious, and I just was making the right decisions.
So did you have problems with both knees, or was it all just with one knee?
My right knee.
It was the right knee, huh?
Surgeries on my right knee.
So no issues, though. I mean, obviously you've recovered completely and moved on.
It's not a problem now.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you study? What was your major?
Criminal justice, and I had a minor in child, youth, and family studies.
Got your degrees?
I will be going back to get my degree in August.
Good for you.
And the only thing I have to do is an internship right now, and I will be doing that, as far as the criminal justice part. I sit in the court, write a little paper, and get that done. I just have to find time to do that.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to you having a very long and bright career with the Cincinnati Bengals and Lou Anarumo. I think obviously you possess the athletic versatility that he looks for. I mean,
yes, sir.
He likes his defensive backs. He likes to be able to blitz them. He likes to be able to, play him at safety, play him at corner, play him at slot corner, play him here, there, and everywhere. With these athletic quarterbacks in the National Football League, likes to spy, at that level with you kind of fit that mold now. You've got a lot of versatility, a lot of diversity, your physical traits. I think he's probably really excited. Has he talked to you about anything yet in terms of any sort of a role, or is it too early? Does he still just have to kind of see what you're about?
I can say it's too early for anyone.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, like I said, I have to go out there and prove myself every day. And that's going to continue to happen. And when, he sees, he'll make that decision, and that's what it'll be.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right.
Gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out FirstStarLogistics.com.